Actually, you can joke about the outcomes you don't want. So the context for what I mean with you can joke about the outcomes you don't want is that Visa, this Twitter account, Visa can versus me. Well, he's a person with a Twitter account. He says this tweet that I actually agree a lot with, that says the stuff you joke about, even ironically or whatever, has a way of shaping your reality, so be careful and deliberate with that stuff. A lot of people out here fumbling their own bags by joking about outcomes they don't want. You might as well joke about the outcomes you do want. And I actually agree with the ethos a lot. But I think that his perspective is very shaped by the fact that he is a writer, so to him, joking about outcomes he doesn't want means like literally writing about stuff that he doesn't want, right? So it is his body of work becomes these jokes that he's made about the outcomes he doesn't want, right? So for him, it's so much more powerful to joke about the outcomes he wants because they become his body of work, right? His body of work as a writer are these jokes about the outcomes he does want. So if they become reality, right, you see how they compound so much more, right? He is investing in compound interest, which is something he talks a lot about as well, also about compounding things that compound. But I thought of this while applying for jobs, right? So I realized, right, I was applying for a job and I was joking to myself something like, okay, even though I'm applying for this job, because of the way that I'm applying, which is similarly to how you see these videos, I apply in video form as well, right? So the way I apply to jobs is by making a video about myself to the job person, right? So you can see how this is a way of an unconventional way that does not have the same success expectations you can expect, right, from a regular application, which also don't have a lot of success, but yeah, anyways. But yeah, you can see how the frame is different. So in that case, I was kind of joking about, okay, so when I eventually get rejected by those applications, I will have to do something in the meantime. And I was talking about my priorities and what I will going to do, right? So I was kind of joking about the outcomes I don't want, right? So not getting a response from the employers, right? Or whatever, right? But my point is that I can joke about the outcomes I don't want because I am doing the things that take me to the outcomes I want. And this is something that happens in many things in the real world, right? Not in the real world, but and whatever, because I'm also not applying to very real jobs, you could say. But that applies to things that are not like writing or whatever, right? When the writing and the job itself is detached from like the text and the words that you say, you can actually joke about the outcomes you don't want, because the outcome is detached from the joking, right? Meanwhile, when you're a writer like Visa, you actually attach those things much more. That's kind of what I want to say with this video. I know that Visa probably understands this in some way or whatever, and maybe he has talked about it. And I think one example of him talking about this is that he's also not talking to every person, right? He's not talking to everyone. He's talking to a very specific group of people, of like outliers in optimism, thoughtfulness, creativity, kindness, competence, ambition, drive, curiosity, right? So if you're an outlier in none of these things, it is possible, very possible, that you should apply the joke about the outcomes you want rule to, in general, your body of work or these kind of things, right? Or to your life in general, maybe. But and I consider myself actually a part of the group, right? Even if the qualifications could be doubted, I consider myself a part of the group, and I do, in general, try to apply this joke about the outcomes you want mindset to myself whenever I deem fit, right? But I was also thinking that, I don't know, it's okay to slack a little bit away, especially when you are doing these kind of applying for jobs type things, right? When you are doing the mundane, it's okay to joke about the outcomes you want, and it is actually, I guess, I don't know, not sure if a nice scope or whatever, but it is actually a nice way to plan what is going to happen, like what you are going to do if the outcome you want to happen doesn't happen, right? It's nice to have plans and all these things, right? But yeah, in general, I do agree with this thing. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. And I don't know, if you want to hear his perspective, I looked up joke about the outcomes you want in Visa's channel that I will link in the description. And yeah, you can watch this video, for example, making bets on outcomes you can influence. This video below is good. I watched it as well, but I will link this one because it seems like more onto the topic of what he means with this joke about the outcomes you want type scenario. So yeah, feel free to watch that, compare my views, compare our views. I actually agree with him, so just I don't know, just watch him, and yeah.